Oh wow. As soon as I was gonna say something, I coughed. Okay, so it's been a long time since I've seen you guys. Um, uh, YouTube keeps slapping me on the wrist for different things, so I end up having to go elsewhere. So, um, a lot has changed, really, since and see that's the thing when you kick somebody out of something, do they permanently go away? Like, what happens to that person? Like, if you get them fired, aren't they just going to find another job somewhere else? Someplace that doesn't care. Maybe, like these. I don't know. I guess the toppy conversations of canceling people are the actors and stuff, right? I guess the most recent today big cancellation, is the movie. HBO kind of canceled their own movie, Gone with the Wind. I don't quite understand why HBO owns that. I do not remember who originally made that movie, the highest grossing movie of all time. Um, I think it's the first black person to ever win an Oscar, and it was a female. So, and by the way, that means nothing. First, I mean, it was right at the beginning of film. Uh, so I don't have any sympathy for any of that kind of crap. Um, I guess you can call me a Nazi if you want. But anyway, I've been gone for a while. Now, to be frank, um, these are the um, okay. So I've been gone for quite a while. I've decided to come up with my own um, I've been doing a lot of everything. Okay, I've been working nonstop every single day. I YouTube said no more Gary, so I kind of backed away. The my go away time has been lifted. It was lifted about a month or so ago, but I was kind of gonna sort of permanently say goodbye to uploading content. But what I've decided to do, I think, right now inside of my brain, I'm kind of taking today off because I'm so overworked. I'm sort of taking today off. We're gonna just gonna hang out today, and we're gonna go through some different things. Um, but I'm gonna relax instead of create. I'm gonna talk. Um, so YouTube said goodbye to me some time ago, and I said, okay, see you later, because there's alternatives. Now you can say, but they're not bigger. They're not as big as whatever you want to say about it. Um, okay, but so one thing about freedom is all of these different platforms have the freedom. Now, hey, it's a really, really all over the placey conversation. This is why I hate everybody that tries to reduce everything to a soundbite, or Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. When you reduce everything down to just one, you know, anything. Um, uh, you know, defund the police. For example, defund the police. Well, do we still have to pay for it? Is the taxes still going to come out for that? Um, But these female politicians, like the one in Minneapolis, talking about defunding the police and all that, and then you have the fucking, I don't know, it's just insanity has engulfed the world. All I can think of is communism is coming to town. It's funny seeing the commies in Seattle. They're building up the barricades. It's, you know, like they're walls. They're building up walls all around their little takeover spotty spots in Seattle right now. So they're occupying a part of Seattle. And one of the Brown, by the way, a female politician, she's from India by the looks of it, who, by the way, is like a straight up communist. She's like a socialist. She's like a member of the Socialist Alliance Party or something. Anyway, so she's a commie. And she led the protest to City Hall and I guess let them in or something last night. I don't know if Seattle is still being occupied. That's calling for change in the mayor's resignation. And then some guy decides to, you know, I don't know when the shooting happened. Was it before or after they started banging on his? Did he just want through? And they said, no, you got to turn around and walk away. So they started, and he said, fuck you. And he started moving forward. And then they start banging on his car. And then he pulls out his gun and shoots them. I mean, right? And just for all of the people in the street, you are the aggressor. You blocking traffic. You don't have a right to do that. It's kind of like the you know, the biggie bully, big bully guy, right? Biggie bully on the street. You know those guys. Use your brain. Bully on the street, and he stands in front of you, right? And he's looking down at you. He's looking down at you. And then you look up at him, and you're like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" And he's just looking down at you, standing in front of you. Right, you know, you can feel his breath on the top of your head, out of his nose. And then you go, "Whatever, dude." And then you try to go around him, but he won't let you. He won't let you go around him. He won't let you. So you tell me, who's the aggressor? Dumbass. You don't have a right to shut down, like, to a commie, I guess you do. A commie, there is no such thing as, you know, a commie gets to just do whatever they want, whenever they want, right? Because it's, okay, in my brainy brain, which is the smart one, I am the smart one, okay? I am the smart one. And that's in all political things anyway. You'd be hard-pressed to find a political thingy thing that I'm dumb about. But there's a lot of topics out there that I am dumb about. Don't get me wrong. Don't ever come at me with your brain surgery questions. I'm a complete and utter idiot. But politics, move out of my way, okay? So, in a capitalist private property, you are the god, emperor, king. You are the dictator, whatever you want to call it, of your own property. You decide all of everything. Now, when somebody violates you or your property, you get to do violence against them. But us libertarians say it's in a proportionate response. Like, for example, if the 10-year-old kid cuts across your lawn on the way to school, you don't get to blow his head off, right? if the neighbors are too loud, you don't get to use a nuclear bomb to quiet them down. Okay, stuff like that, right? Proportionate response. But it does include murder. It does include all of the violence. It up to and including that. But you don't start there, right? You don't solve the noise complaint of your neighbor, your loud music neighbor person, with a nuclear bomb, right? That would be considered a disproportionate response. And same thing with the kid cutting across your lawn on the way to school. You don't get to blow his head off. Why? Because that is a disproportionate response. You should be using the minimum amount of violence necessary to secure your person and your property. Because excessive uses of force would be considered violence. So now you're the perpetrator of violence. You're no longer in the realm of self-defense. You have switched over to the realm of being the perpetrator of violence. But yeah, you don't get to just you don't get to just do what you want with the roadways and stuff. But I guess to a commie, to a commie stupid, right? Which commie is stupid. But to a commie stupid, geez, really? Canada? Really? Okay, so I don't care about, really? Isn't it weird how they're just gonna uh, show me approved mainstream media? And you wonder why we don't do these things anymore? Mainstream media sources. You might not know them if you're a Yankee. If you're a Yank, we call everybody in America a Yankee. By the way, I do anyway. I don't know. Like Yankee is the top or the bottom of the Civil War. I can't remember. The North or the South. I can't remember. I think a Yankee is the North, because the New York Yankees. But anyway, so when you're a stupid communist, like these kids are, Antifa, um, you don't believe in private property. So what happens to that road, or that building, or that farm? The blup 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 blup. Fill in the blank. Well, it's kind of up in the air. Um, and he wants to occupy it, can occupy it. See, communism runs on the assumption that everybody's going to be a good boy. Everybody is a perfect little good boy. I know that sounds stupid, but everybody's a good, perfect little good boy, 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 boy. Perfectly good boy. No, I'm not joking. So, in other words, when you go to the grocery store, you go to when you go to the story store, forget the store word, but anyway, you go to the store, you'll maybe spend an hour there. You'll pick up a broom and you'll sweep around. You'll take out the rotten apples and you'll fix the shelves. And you'll drop. By the way, you'll also drop off some apple pies that you baked that day. Um, and then you'll pick up the rest of all of the stuff you need, and then that's how that all works. You're just going to contribute to society and take. But you're always going to contribute more than you take. Because you're going to be a perfectly good boy. Perfectly good boy. That's what communism runs on. Well, in order to get to the communism, they do the socialism. And this is the making of, this is supposed to be the stage of communism where they are making the good boy. Okay? This is where the government controls everything and sort of teaches the citizens on how to be good boys. Well, so the government takes control over absolutely everything and teaches, and via that, through that, everybody's going to become a good boy. Now, Karl Marx said it would take 500 years. Well, isn't that interesting? So all the whatever, what, no, forget about, I don't want to have, I'm not going to teach you everything that you need to know, okay? The internet is a big place. Just type in your questions. And get answers. And do not go to mainstream sources. Because that's how you got stupid in the first place. I don't know how liberals, I understand children liberals, but I don't understand adult ones. Women are bringing a lot of stupid to the world and the world of politics. Women. It was a woman that led the Seattle protesters to City Hall and let them in. It's a woman in Minneapolis that, don't get me wrong, the Jew mayor is also a problem. But I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. When you're on the left, your cities are going to burn. That's what happens. Communism burns everything it touches. Communism destroys, socialism destroys everything it touches. And you just keep voting for more and more and more and more of it. Because they keep selling you the line, oh, people need, because we're the good guys, we're the good guys. We love everybody, we're the good guys, we love everybody, we're the good guys, we love everybody. They keep selling you that bullshit. Now, shut up, okay? Just shut up now. The right-wing politicians are scumbags. Right-wing politicians are scumbags, just like the left-wing politicians. But at least the right, inside of the brain of the right, the individually person-y person on the right, is correct. The individually person on the left, like the person, the physical number one, the person, single individual on the left is a disaster. Aborting their kids, don't know whether they're coming or going, can't figure out what gender they are. I mean, praising socialism. I mean, the level of insanity over there, it's just like the right is good, normal people. The left is everyone else. Not good, not normal people, abnormal people. But on the governmenty thingy thing, government toppy top. It's just the government is one thing, and then the government uses, for example, the Republicans just to gather support for the government through talk, Republican talk. Okay? And then the Democrats gather support from all of the others for the government. But both are just gathering support for the government. That's their goal. Because they know that they actually need public support. Or at least they have to wave a white flag and say there's nothing we can do. So, literally, your government in America is just, the Republicans and Democrats are one thing. They're just playing to different people. Just the Republicans gather support from the good, decent people, and the Democrats gather support from not good, not decent people. That's it. That's how it works. But either way, the government wins, right? They pretend that they live in a democracy and all of the bullshit. Just go out and use your brain for a change. So, what is all this? So yeah, like the world is in a big fucking mess. Now, hey, by the way, I'm the only one calling both sides of this coin out. All your conservatives were sucking the turd nuggets off of Trump's butthole, dirty butthole, during the COVID hoax. Trump led the world into bullshit with fake coronavirus bullshit, all garbage. Yet he would still get those turd nuggets up on stage when hey, listen to me carefully. If Trump still believed in the coronavirus on March 20th, then that means he's either got less information than I do, or he's just an evil turd bucket. Right? So evil turd bucket, or he's got and I mean, if the president of the United States has less information, or he's just surrounded himself with retarded idiots, or whatever, any of the anything. If that's who he is, my lord, right? So, all you have to do is listen to me about politics, and then you get it right. Or you can just sit back and watch it all burn and just grab some marshmallows. Now, the reality is the leftists will burn each other out first. And they always do. But, I mean, Donald Trump and his mental retardation has no limits as well. It's just like Bush and the other Bush and Reagan and all the rest of them. They're all the same. Now, I guess maybe that's part of the frustration of these little communists. That, well, we need to change. Communism is going to be better. I don't, whatever, right? That's got to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Why don't you watch One Child Nation? This is China, your communism.
I was born in China in 1985, a time when China's population crisis was making headlines around the world.
In an effort to protect its people from starvation, China has enacted a policy limiting families to just one child.
I never thought much about what the policy meant for me or anyone until I learned that I was going to be a mom. None of my family questioned the policy or how it was implemented.
如果生个女儿，就那个直接放到老家那送家了。
你都还是觉得计划生育好，是吧？
计划生育，还有几没有钱，啥修中心我的了，就打死在中心了，就跟。
She was the executioner. It's like fighting a war. You think that this one child? By the way, this only ended in 2013, I believe, 2013. You think that something like a child's one? You think this thingy thing called only one kid per family was just like Chicky Poo has one kid, and then she goes to the doctors. Okay, time to tie my tubes now. and it's just all peaches and cream, sunshine and roses everywhere. Oh my lord. There was forced abortions, spies, the evil required in order to enact, to do this do, insane. And all they had to do was to feed their population. You know, Thanos was wrong. All they had to do is freedom. But communism and freedom just don't go together, right? It's the opposite.
打仗还是挺灭了多少人，是不？
Chinese government would come in and they'd bash down your house, take the child.
190个人在头上包包做的。
我听我爸说，有个双胞胎姐姐跟我长得一模一样，现在在美国。
我手中的发现不念造假，涉及全国各。
Oh, geez, twins. Yeah, what do you do there? You gotta kill one.
像你还有你家是在全国做这个做的最大的吧？
And all these faggots on Twitter, or I shouldn't say that, I'm on YouTube. All these turd nuggets on Twitter, right? Just more communism, more socialism, all of them. You don't know. And by the way, when America falls to communism, do you have any idea what the world is going to look like? And by the way, voting Donald Trump, voting Republican is not going to save you. I think it's inevitable at this point. I think it's inevitable. By the way, United States is already 70% the way there. They just need, of the 10 main bullet points of communism, United States has 7 of them ticked. So it's just a little bit more. And then it's fully communism. And, you know, like I said, all of the everything is, they're socialists, they're communists. And if you are still an empty-headed, retarded, loser idiot that doesn't truly understand, and you're still, I don't care. Now, I'm an old man, so if I died, you know, like, by the way, when the socialism comes, it'll probably be good for a couple of years. They'll force that. They'll force it to be good for a couple of years. Shut up and listen to me. They will force it to be good for a couple of years, but then the hammer starts to come down, and I guess the sickle. And then it just falls apart. But when it falls apart, then the boots come. Right? Oh, it's going to be ugly. And everybody loses. But, you know, good thing that these retarded, loser, idiot fucking children get their heads full of stupid, right? All over fucking college and university and all over TV and Hollywood. They get their heads filled with insanity, insane stupidity. And then they, you know, it's just bizarre. They're literally calling, but they've been told that this communist thing is a good thing. Whatever, they're dumb. Dumb beyond stupid, beyond stupid.
Throughout my life.
Freedom is the answer, by the way. The solution is freedom. Shut up and listen to me. I said the answer is freedom. And there's a 99% chance you have no idea what that means. There's a 99% chance you have what you think freedom is wrong. So you need to go out and learn what freedom actually means. You have the ability. See, this is what drives me insane about the internet. You could spend all day, every day, just reading and researching. Now, don't get me wrong. The commies write a lot of books, too. So you have to know. You have to weed through. You have to use critical thinking. You have to use your brain. Open it up and let the wisdom in. But you don't, right? You just play video games and then use hashtags on Twitter to get more likes and clicks. That's you. You're an empty-headed loser, idiot, retard that some blue-haired college professor filled your head with stupid, and you're still stupid, and you've been stupid for a very long time, and you'll stay that way. And I don't think that the conservatives they just sit in the rocking chair and complain on the porch, right? That's what your basic conservative is doing, just sitting on the porch in the rocking chair, wagging their finger at the kids running by, driving by, walking by. They do nothing. They just sit there, waving their fingers in disapproval. They talk about freedom, but they don't care about freedom. They care about freedom as much as your frickin' leftist does. They have no idea what it means. It's just talking points for them. It's just like freedom is a talking point to a conservative, just like justice is a talking point for a leftist. It's not meaningful. They don't mean it. You know, when a leftist says, "I love black people," that is just as meaningless as a conservative saying, "I love freedom." Both meaningless, empty slogan statements that, that neither of them have any idea what any of this means. It's not complicated, folks. Freedom. Not this.
Life, I was taught to believe the love of my country was equal to love of the government and the party. I was so angry, even with my own family, that there wasn't more to be said or done. Everyone we spoke to said the same things about the policy.
没办法哈，实在不现在一起谈呗。
报仇了那么多个小孩子，
就想帮你继续找那个双胞胎女儿的事情过来的。
哎，现在16岁了。
I wondered if most people in China really thought it was worth the sacrifices each family made.
Forced abortions, infanticide, kidnapping, murder, just spying on each other. It's the level of these latte drinking revolutionaries in the West. Only like maybe 1% of them are actual communists and understand that life is going to get really super shit, but I'm going to have all the power, so I don't care. But anyway. So this is kind of what I have been working on. Some of it is already going, although it's not looking good right at this second. So I just kind of wanted to go through what I'm doing and check out this stream and see. On different streams, I'm going to be saying different things. Now, live streaming, Twitch alternatives. So I'm going to Ustream. 2018, good enough. Okay, so there's a number of alternatives. YouTube. I don't know. I guess maybe I could go straight to no. See, I want to stay away from Twitter and Facebook as much as I can. Using one of them, Google, is bad enough. YouTube, Instagib, Caffeine, Mixer, Smashcast, Stream.me. So, like, there's going to be lots. So I have to work on, see these live buttons. I was going to actually put logos there. And then I thought, you know something, I'm going to get kicked off. I have a bitey tongue. And I'm going to probably get kicked off of different platforms. So live is going to mean different things. Right now, obviously, I'm pretty sure I'm on, yeah, excellent condition. Yeah, I guess I'm here. Let me, today would be nice. Michael Shermer. Free to choose. They had a... See, it's just such lazy, right? Free to choose. You've released one a week. Oh, you just had this big event, and so you're just going to release them all at the same time? It's so stupid. No. Release one, and then you go into hiding for a month or 3. That's not how you do it. I'm very interested to see what he does should he be re-elected and have 4 more years with absolutely no consequences. Or, yeah. The RNC has the House too. Well, they did. See, I think I don't know. Well, it seems that the I don't care. That's why get rid of it all. I don't care. This one was good. Cop hating ANCAPs drive me bananas. They're complete and utter loser idiots, and I ain't got time for them. I'm an ANCAP, but if you just automatically go fucking pig cops, if that's your brain, then you and I completely disagree. And by the way, you're an idiot. Let me be frank. Anyway, so let's go through what I did yesterday. So these are just images. Pretty soon there'll be links to these things, okay? So the live is going to be whatever. Right now I'm on YouTube. I don't know if that's going to last. I have no idea. All of that kind of stuff, right? So maybe I'll do different ones on different platforms. So if I get kicked off of, see, there's 8 of them. 8 live shows. There's 8 live shows. so I can find 8 different platforms, or just try to match my talk, the way I talk, to the platform. We'll see. I don't know how that'll work. But anyway, okay. So we got the news. This is going to be a comedy sketch of a news program. A real quick comedy sketch. Remember, I'm doing 14 shows per week, 2 per day. So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll create this, and then I upload the episode. And then I go to chat. This is going to be literally an open forum speech. This is the okay. So there's comedy episode in the morning, and then chat. This is going to be like just kind of like I talk about whatever I want to talk about. This is like kind of news. I'm a political person, so but hopefully I'll get it out of my system on the Monday, so that I can kind of put it mostly to rest for the rest of the week. Well, or, you know, but you can come suggest articles. You'll be putting links over here, and then I'll be going through them, and we'll be talking about them. Sort of like just regular chat. Or else. This is a horror series that is already well underway. I had to skip yesterday's episode because of I wanted to redo this whole thing and get them all in place. So this one is active. This one is active. This one was thought up but abandoned. So just there's 2 active and 1 that was kind of just sitting there doing nothing. But I decided to just fuck it. I'm doing them all. So I got them all here, and I'm going to put them all into place. See, like over here. See, or else, and I'm suing the government, even though the images are different. Now, so, yeah, I just decided to do them all. My whole week. Map out the whole fucking week. Created all of these images. Did all my freaking... all of this greatness here that you see. I'm very impressed with myself, by the way. Okay, so Or Else is a horror show. And then we're going to be talking about... this is Horror Movie Fanatics. You see it in little words down there because the horror movie... is center stage. Horror movie box. Right? And that was kind of on purpose, subliminal. The horror movies. We're just going to talk horror movies. So kind of news and then horror day. Now this one is not a similar day. So we got this is kind of like gay erotica 101. It doesn't say that. I was going to put that as a warning, but I don't care. I'm going to keep it, you know, sort of X-rated, maybe R-rated. But it's here. If you don't want to click on it, then don't click on it. I'll probably put in the description, you know, 18 plus. So this is gay erotica. And then Eat Me is, we're just going to talk food. Literally food. We're going to talk about it, discuss it. It's one of the most common things ever. I actually really very much enjoy sidetracking myself to food. This is my life. This is my interests. I just mapped it out. You know, I kind of took a look at what I'm most interested in. News, politics, maybe some more politics here. A little bit of food. But, and then here's some, okay, so food. I'm suing the government. I'm literally suing the government. Okay? So again, this is already underway. Although, I'm not going to be able to do this week's episode. No, I'm not going to be doing one tomorrow. And, you laugh, I laugh. This is a new show. Just, you know, it's kind of you laugh, you lose. But it's a little take on that. Now, back to horror. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. You know, again, horror remake. We talk all the time about complain. Us people on the right or libertarians or whatever. Complain. Well, part of it is solutions. There's a big solution. I'm suing the government. But another solution to Hollywood is to make our own. We want to monopolize, you know, like make our own. Instead of all the money going to these frickin' empty-headed communist frickin' actors and actresses in Hollywood, come to the individuals. Come to us. We'll make our own. One thing that people might not know is The Wizard of Oz is based on a book, and the book is in public domain. The book is in public domain. The movies are not. So, as long as we stick to the book, we'll be good. So we're going to make a horror remake of the book. Books, really. There's a series of books. So we're going to make a horror movie out of The Wizard of Oz. And we're going to do it together. And no previous experience necessary. If you want to do it, it can be done. Oz Night. This is... What the heck's going on? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it seems okay now. Maybe I lost connection there for a bit. Anyway, so, yeah, and so Oz Night is going to be discussion, because we're making this together. And by the way, like when I say zero skills necessary, I literally mean zero. Do not worry about, oh, I don't want to make a movie, or I don't know how to make a movie, or... No, we're just going to have fun. Trust me. Listen to me carefully. Trust me. Do not worry about anything. If you think that a Wizard of Oz horror movie sounds interesting, then get involved. Just start watching these episodes. You know? Trust me, you can get involved. If you want to, or not, you just watch it for entertainment. Watch other people. Or, you'll be able to, like, all will be revealed in time. But, yes, it's just going to be a fun activity for everyone. I mean everyone. This is not for film students, for film buffs, for wannabe film blah blah blah. No. I'm calling it a movie. You can call it whatever the hell you want. It's just like this, all of this. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. You can call them TV shows or... See, like, the internet has sort of redefined you know, stuffy stuff. Like, yeah, there's still episodic television and there's movies. You know, I don't even know what to call these things anymore. It's really just, I'm just using the old-fashioned words for them. Movies and TV shows. But really, what do you call what I'm doing? Well, it's live streaming. You know, all these different things, right? Okay, the Internet Game Show. We are doing a game show for the Internet. Okay? Internet Game Show. And by the way, one of the reasons why I want to diversify my audience right out of the gate is because I don't want to put all of my energy into YouTube and then have them kick me to the curb and then just have nothing, right? I'm going to go to all of them, all ALL, all of them, and we're just going to go that way, and from the get-go. Just so, like, so there's 8 of them. So if I had 2 per platform, right? 4 different platforms. So if one platform dies, then I've just got 3 others, and then, you know, I can make do for a little while until I find another platform. Just diversify from the outset, which is interesting because as these, the internet is going to be a thingy thing, a biggie thingy. And that's another thing about, you know, like, how much of these communist Antifa protests have been downed, pushed down, simply because of technology. It's one thing to, you know, think that you're going to solve the world's problems through communism that you learned in, you know, school. It's another thing to see the firing squad in action. You know what I mean? Seeing all the dead bodies piling up. You know, that kind of, you know, that bit of reality. Remember the video of the kid who is sitting there playing beer pong with his buddy? Loser little idiot nothing kid. He goes to the window and gives the protesters a thumbs up, and then he gets a brick through the window, and then he screams through the window, "We're on your side! What are you doing? We're on your side!" And then they get another brick in the window. It's very visually, yeah, they don't care. When the communists are going to come for you, you can say, I'm on your side, all you want. They have a death quota. They have a quota of dead people. Just ask the Khmer Rouge. The killing fields in Cambodia. Literally, they were just pulling excuses to kill people directly out of their asshole. Oh, this guy's too tall. Bang. Or it wasn't bang, it was a slice. Too poor. They had to use knives. This person just fixed their wagon. Slice. There goes the head. You know, slice. They literally, they were kind of offering these bodies as like a worship sacrifice to their communist overlord, which was doing that to please Mao Zedong. Kill. And these were like kind of like sacrificial lambs. And when, you know, like, it's one thing to go, well, yeah, sure, communism killed a bunch, but now it's right in your face, right? Now the communists are rolling through town, dragging people out of their homes, and putting them up against the wall. You see blood splatters everywhere. People you know are dying. Your dad just died for the communism, whatever. And then the poverty starts to set in, and then you're like, oh, this communist revolution isn't what my Professor Blue-haired told me it would be. It kind of sucks. But then it's too late. Well, you could have another revolution. It's just so weird. I mean, leftism, this level of stupidity, I'm going to say this again, there is government, Democrat, Republican, and then people, Democrat, Republican. 3 out of 4 of those are total garbage. The government, Democrat, and Republican, both trash. Garbage, zero, everything. But then again, you know, I don't know. You're Republican Joe Schmo, yipping and yapping about freedom, and then as soon as people talk about defunding the police, they go, "What? You can't defund the police. We need a monopoly on the police. We need to have monopolies on police." So all this shit that they talk about, yeah, let's not do socialism. Let's not do socialism with medicine, but let's do it with the police. I mean, do they even look at them? Can they even use a brain? Dear conservative, why are you so stupid? Right? Now, the left takes stupidity to a whole new level, right? At least the conservative is kind of like, you know, they mention capitalism every once in a while and freedom, and literally kind of know what it means and kind of mean it. Even though all of these freedom type things get dropped just snippety, snappity, snappity, snippety. The moment there's any whiff of issues going on, freedom just gets flushed right down the toilet to all of them. What? 9/11 and then weapons of mass destruction? Kill them! Kill them! And one of the reasons why these wars rage is because there's no video. Listen to me carefully. There's no video. Once you start, now the internet is a biggie thingy. Shut up. I understand. It's biggie and thingy. Okay, it's all of the everything. But once people start to see videos of babies exploding and, you know, mothers, you know, dead moms with their dead children holding each other tight in the rubble, you know, body parts blown all over the place. This is one of the reasons why they don't let journalists out there. Because they don't want you to see, you know, the body parts blown all over the fucking, you know, Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever. But those conservatives have no problem. Cities sit there in their great big fat American flag and go, you know, we're going to bring peace and freedom to the Middle East. Really? Okay. Anyway, got off topic there. So, yeah, the Wizard of Oz and then Wizard of Oz discussion. Because we're going to go through it together. We're going to have fun together. We're going to make this fucking thing a reality. And we're going to talk about it along the way. It's not just, oh, did you know, Garrett release another episode? No. There's an episode, and now let's have a chat. Because, you know, the chat is going to determine the next episode. That's why the first few episodes aren't going to make a whole lot of sense. But the discussion afterwards is going to be pretty cool. So, and then the internet game show. So the internet game show is just as simple as that. It's an internet game show. There's going to be prizes. Now the prizes in the beginning are going to be completely proportionate to, you know, the money that these things bring in, if any. Hopefully they start to bring in some money, or else I'm going to be fucking eating dirt soon. And by the way, this is the solution, right? Yes, there's a little bit of news. I think we gotta, but this is humor. This is action, and this is, let's just talk about it. The rest is not, right? So we're gonna have a live internet game show. I don't know what time it's gonna be. It's why one of the reasons why I kind of left these things kind of vague. I know what day it's going to be on. 2 per day, 2 things per day, a live stream. So it's going to be basically be an episode of something, and then followed up by a live stream. But this episode, you know, like these are forever things that just sit around and you can go back in time and watch and stuff. You know, like I guess Netflix or whatever, any other TV show. And this one is, but this one has to be live because you are the contestant. I am the host of the game show. You are the contestant. Are you going to choose? No, everybody is the contestant. You'll see. You'll see how I'm going to do the game show. Okay? The game show. It's going to be quite interesting getting it going, too. And then we're going to do Let's Play Horror. So I love horror. And there's nothing like a good horror video game to get that going. Like, there's so many great stories, horror stories, that are told via video games, but I don't like playing video games. So we're literally going to be watching other people play. I've done it before. PewDiePie's horror video game playing is the reason I signed up for a YouTube account. I didn't care about a YouTube account, but I wanted YouTube to keep track of the episode that I had seen in the series. Like, because one video game in 20 parts, right? You watch 3 parts, and then you come back and you watch 4, and then you come back and watch 2, and so on. So, signing up for an account, you can keep track of which ones you've seen and which ones you haven't seen. That's literally the reason I started with a YouTube account. Okay. So let's play horror. I'm literally just gonna find a YouTuber that plays horror, and we're gonna watch it. But I get to pause and talk, and we get to chat, and I'm gonna add a lot to their stream, their playing of the game. But yeah, an atheist in church. Did you see the? Okay, here's the... Now, look at her. Look at Chicky Chick. Look at Chicky Chick. Shut up. Let me get to it. Look at this Chicky Chick. Oh, by the way, the fuck is that little thing? I don't know what this is. But anyway, look at this Chicky Chick with her feet in the bucket and white people washing her feet, she's got her hand up. Because, you know, that's what you do in church. She's having, this is religion to her. Maybe these are all, you know, you're stupid. Well, there's another idiot loser fucking cop. All sorts of stupid retards. And this is what, you know, when you see this level of retardation everywhere, you kind of start to lose hope. And then you Republicans just either encouraging this or sitting back and doing nothing. You're like, oh, okay, whatever. Don't get me wrong, there's, you know, this is, of all the stupid that happens, this is pretty minor, really. But, I mean, it's just kind of indicative of what's going on at the moment. But anyway, her hand up like this is very much a religious experience. This is religion. That's what you sit, as you're in church, you sit there with your hand to receive the Word of God, to receive Jesus or whatever. Which is kind of scary. This is the leftist religion, this stuff. And by the way, let's just do the obvious. Chick, 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 right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's probably men there too. Probably husband and wife there. Probably, no, black people don't get married. Oops, is that racist? This is why I get kicked off of, you know, what percentage of black people are actually married? Especially to other black people. And by the way, just don't listen to me. I know what the divorce statistics are like. They're really bad for white people. Guess what? They're even worse for black people. Significantly worse. Way worse. They're bad for white people. They're really bad for white people. They're insane for black people. So, and by the way, guess who's the best? Asian people. When they get married, they're fucking married for life. Those marriages work out very well. Just yet another statistics where black people are at the bottom, you know? White people in the middle, Asians on top. But anyway, this religious experience that she's, you know, this hand-up religion thing, it's disconcerting, right? White officers. Are they all officers? So whatever, right? So it's weird to me how, and there's a lot of people that are talking about the religion of the left. It's like the left is turned into a religion, and like they talk about they are the guys with the numbers and the mathematics and stuff, but they're not. It really is a religion. And everything that they think is a religion. It's just like they got a book, they've got a playbook, and they just go to the playbook, no matter how little sense it makes. It could be literally the opposite of the truth. I'll just give you the most obvious example. Gender is a social construct. No, it's not. No, it's not. There's only two genders, male and female, and that's how it is. And, you know, get over it. But, you know, it's a religious orthodox, you know, it's a religion, and if you disobey the religion, Jesus Christ, if they ever fucking freak the fuck out. And it's the going against the religion, you know, anyway, It's a religion. It's just somebody keeps updating the fucking book of fucking stupid leftism. They keep reading it and believing it all. It's just this whole thing about George Floyd, too. It's all dumb. But they just can't help themselves. And it's just a religion to them, and here, you know, they threw away Christianity. They're at peace with Islam. I don't know exactly how they feel about Judaism. But I guess the browner you are, the more your religion is okay. Except for maybe Christianity. I don't know. It seems to be the one that they just can't. But, so, one of the things that I wanted to do is I need to bring these two together. So what this is going to be, I guess let's just talk. You know, these live streams are kind of just self-explanatory, except for this one. So this is a skit, a funny skit about the news. Or else, a horror episode. This is a gay erotic fiction. This is a documentary series, me documenting suing the government. Turning the book, not the movies, the book, the B-O-O-K, Wizard of Oz, the wonderful Wizard of Oz, actually, into a horror movie. Okay? A game show, an internet game show where you just sign up, you just join, and you can win. Join and win. It's as simple as that. And then, an atheist in church is going to be, I'm going to take a sermon, a Christian, maybe an Islamic, maybe different religions. But it is church here. I might venture out, but I think I'll probably focus on church. And I'm just going to, like, literally a random episode. Sermons. I'm sure I can find sermons all over the place on YouTube, right? Sunday morning church service. Times Square Church. See, there's lots of churches, right? So there's so many church services. And I am literally going to go through the, or maybe I won't, I probably won't be able to go through the whole thing. Maybe I will. I'm going to watch one of these videos, right? Hopefully it's not too long. So yeah, I'm just gonna find one, and it's gonna be pretty random. I'm gonna have to do a little digging because I don't want really long ones, and I'm gonna post their video, and then I'm gonna respond to it. I'm gonna just take a section, and maybe I'll embed the or I'll link to it. I don't think my embedding abilities does the time stuff. But yeah, I'll link to the service, and then I'm going to respond to it. I'll take a chunk, maybe I'll watch the whole thing and just give it an overview. It'll be different. But I am going to go through and describe to people how similar we are. Okay? How similar we are. Basically, I'm going to be what can I say? I'm going to show how atheists and Christians are so incredibly similar. That's it. So that's what that's about. And then chat, just a stream, horror movie stream. Food stream, comedy stream, Oz night, you know. Let's talk about the Wizard of Oz movie that we're making. Play some horror games. And retro bits. Just classic computing. Classic video games, classic computers, and stuff like that. Classic retro bits. That's it. So yeah, what I have to do is I have to go through and create categories for these things, and get all that going. So, oh look, there's one watching. Is that me? It's probably me.
What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday. Video for the day. We got some stuff to talk about. Before I dive into everything, though, my band, Backwards, BACKWORDZ. If you don't know, I mean, look, it's funny. Everybody, when they find out about the band, it's like, dude, I didn't know you're in a band. I'm like, fool, listen, every single video, like, description. But, hey, better later than never. Backwards, one word. We're on all major digital platforms. Of course, all music videos on our YouTube, which is Backwards.
Yeah, this guy's just gonna do self-promotion for an hour. Yes, it's true. This yes. I've been saying this for a long time. Cancel culture is communism light. In the communism, it's all telling on each other, telling, purity test, telling. Don't criticize the government or else I'm going to have to turn you in. All of that kind of neighbor versus neighbor started with COVID. I mean, it's not minding your, it's like Snoopy, Snoop. And girls are great at this kind of thing. They just can't keep their nose in their own business. Which is why they probably like girls in positions of power and stuff. Always snooping, and it's true. This cancel culture stuff is very communist. And I think this is just communism light.
I discussed the origins of early American socialism at length with in-depth exposés into the untold history of the Hollywood Communist Party and others, but one query rarely seems to emerge from the informational super morass on the internet, and that's precisely how were turn of the 20th century...
Oh, wait until everybody in Hollywood needs to bend down and kiss the ring. Can you imagine? And by the way, it's getting close, right? You see all these people on their knees kissing the ring? Starting. Just walk up to a white chick on the street and tell her to get on her knees, and she does. Right? We're seeing those videos. I don't know if they're real or planned or, they could be faked, but...
Communists able to ensure such unflagging, singular collectivist devotion from their followers? And the answer is that while actual implementation of their supremely shit policies, let alone retention of power once seized, continues to elude all Leninites, one area where socialists excel even today is in mass manipulation and crowd psychology, a fact that should be readily apparent to anyone watching the news for, the past week or so. When Roy Brewer, a lifelong Democrat and union representative, was sent by his local union to investigate
they say that they're fighting fascism to give themselves legitimacy. They're not. It's just, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of fascism around. Fascism is government-controlled private property. There's a lot of that. But I mean, the only thing worse than government-controlled private property is government-controlled government property. Right? Like, if anybody thinks that's a step up, oh my lord. See, this is the problem with all of your I've got to stop saying this. All of your politicians doing political speak. They just kind of blah 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 blah, right? When they talk, and you actually walk away from that. Oh, they're actually a good person. They care about me. They like me. They're a good person. They're a good person. No, they just learn that they can't say anything, and this is kind of how they exist. They don't mean what they say. It's just they're part of the machine, and yeah, sure, once in a while they. I don't know. It's just all garbage, right? It's all gobbledygook. Political speak. Say nothing. Just say things that people want to hear. And here we are, the system. This monstrous system that everybody's created.
Discuss the origins of early American socialism at length with in-depth exposés into the untold history of the Hollywood Communist Party and others, but one query rarely seems to emerge from the informational super morass on the internet, and that's precisely how were turn of the 20th century communists able to ensure such unflagging, singular collectivist devotion from their followers? And the answer is that while actual implementation of their supremely shit policies, let alone retention of power once seized, continues to elude all Leninites, one area where socialists excel even today is in mass manipulation and crowd psychology, a fact that should be readily apparent to anyone watching the news for, the past week or so. When Roy Brewer, a lifelong Democrat and union representative, was sent by his local union to investigate socialists allegedly being strong-armed in his Teamsters and cartoonist unions in Hollywood, he unwittingly kicked over a hornet's nest of overt socialist insurgents and Soviet payola, the extent of which only became truly apparent when the KGB archives were flung wide after the fall of the Soviet Union following perestroika, and we learned the staggering extent of Russian influence and sheer quantity of communist cash flowing into America's so-called homegrown Marxist movement, which, by the way, still bears Soviet fingerprints all these decades later. The Communist Party USA alone, which still exists, itself all but irrelevant by the 1980s, having lost favor due to the greater effectiveness of more subtle means of persuasion in academia, was funded by Moscow to the tune of between $4 and $6 million annually until the demolition of the Berlin Wall in just the year 1989. And that was one of the lesser endeavors the Soviet Union funded to upend American dominion throughout the 20th century. And from proven propaganda inserted into Hollywood films to the curation of textbooks and even Soviet agents who affected USA's policy toward Russia and China and may even have tipped the balance of the Chinese Civil War to benefit the Bolsheviks, these techniques were met with varying degrees of success. I mean, just because you're an evil douchebag doesn't mean you're always good at being an evil douchebag. Just ask the Shredder. But one area in which they excel even today is bringing their fellow travelers to fucking heel when they step out of line. In researching the history of the Hollywood Communist Party, one episode in particular leaped out at me, and I even momentarily referenced it in my original rant, Hollywood Was Always Red. But by way of refresher, Albert Maltz was a Marxist and member of the Hollywood Communist Party. He was a prize-winning screenwriter, one of the first to move west with his fellow communist John Howard.
So all of this Hollywood shit is why I'm creating my own. I'm part of the solution. Okay, this is about being a part of the solution. I'm making up my own. There's a game show. There's some horror, comedy, news. Porn, gay porn, church on Sunday, more horror, video games, comedy, Food Network, things that I'm interested in, and I would encourage everybody to do the same thing, or at least support things like this. Cancel your Netflix subscription and start supporting independent creators.
Howard Lawson and the Communist Party USA's philosophical spokesman, V.J. Jerome. Now, Maltz I know of because he scripted one of my favorite film noir, This Gun for Hire, and even netted an Oscar for the Frank Sinatra short film This House I Live in 1945. Bit of a propaganda piece, by the way. It'd be one of his final crowning achievements, as he would be one of the blacklisted Hollywood 10 by refusing to name his accomplices or their paymasters at the House Un-American Activities Committee hearings. In short, dude was a commie to the core and went to prison rather than name names. I only say this because you have to understand the ideological purity test at play here. If they were willing to rake this useful idiot over the coals, you can imagine what they subject their enemies to, and rake him they did. If you replace the K with a P, that is. Having penned the pretentious but otherwise perfectly reasonable article, What Shall We Expect of Writers, in Marxist publication New Masses, in which he advances the radical notion not that communists should stop inserting propaganda into screenplays and novels, but that they should simply be more subtle about it. Quote, "The artist is most successful who most profoundly and accurately reveals his characters with all their motivations clearly delineated. But the writer who works to serve an immediate political purpose, whose desire it is to win friends for some political action or point of view, has set himself the task not primarily of revealing men in society as they are, the social novelist, but rather of winning a point, the political novelist. I am not saying that an artist should be without a point of view on life and society, or that his point of view does not inevitably guide his selection of materials, characters, etc., or that any book profoundly written will be without political implications, but there is a difference between possessing a philosophic point of view which permeates one's work, the social novelist, and having a tactical axe to grind which usually requires the artificial manipulation of character and usually results in shallow writing, the political novelist or political propagandist working in the novel. The pitfall of the socially conscious writer who uses his art in a shallow manner is that his goal all too often subtly demands the annihilation of certain characters, the gilding of others. It is very, very difficult for him not to handle his characters in black and white, since his objective is to prove a proposition, not to reveal men in motion as they are.
Well, this is a really shitty video.
Consequently, it is more than likely that he...
Even Sargon of Akkad knew to separate the fucking long-winded stupid shit from, you know, like, separate them. you know, learn how to separate. Start a different channel. You know, just get to the fucking point.
He will angle character and events to achieve his point. He may not wish to do this, but he is led to it by his goal, led into idealistic conceptions of character, led into wearing rose-colored glasses which will permit him to see in life that which he wishes to find in order to prove his thesis, led into the portrayal of life not as it is, but as he would like it to be. And this is not only inferior art, but shallow politics as well. Unquote. Clearly stated, this is Albert Maltz arguing for moderation rather than outright abstention from employing their cringy commie politics among sympathetic scribes in Hollywood. Given that his script for This Gun for Hire included a ham-fisted final act admonition to aid in the impending war with Japan, and I'm sure coincidentally helped keep the Japanese off Stalin's back doorstep while they dealt with fucking Hitler, Maltz knew well what phenomenon he spoke of because he'd been guilty of it his own damn self.
Gas, poison gas. They're selling it to our enemy.
So?
So tomorrow they'll ship it back in bombs. Japanese breakfast food for America. Did you hear what I said? It's important. This war is everybody's business.
His criticism took aim with the party doctrine of using art as a weapon, a principle the Politburo employ even today, as evidenced by recent dust-ups in seemingly puerile entertainments with progressives like TV, film, and fucking video games, all of which have some ideological antecedents in old guard Marxist ideology, which is why it struck such a savage chord with the commies that he criticized it. Even the party hatchet man Isidor Schneider argued against Maltz's viewpoint in the very same issue of New Masses in which it appeared. You may remember my making reference to the fallout. Albert Maltz was utterly obliterated in an issue of the Daily Worker.
I fucking hate it when audio starts. You know what I was good? You know, I hate it so much. There's no way. I think I thought about, you know, you know, auto-playing stuff, and I was like, no way, not on this fucking website. This is going to be a website free of fucking bullshit, in-your-face crap. If you want to give money to it, then you can. But, you know, I might get some ads here or there. But, yeah. Not really. But okay. Over and so they're leaving. You think you're just going to vote the Dems out of office? That's not how this works. The Republicans are... What are you talking about? Republicans are the ones sitting back letting this happen. Shut up.
by talented but thoroughly butt-fucking brainwashed writer Mike Gold, who said, quote, "The Communist Party has furnished Albert Maltz with his only abiding inspiration to date," before falling back on the age-old Marxist tactic of guilt by association by comparing his repudiations to the, quote, "art for art's sakers" that defended Leon Trotsky, a damnable offense in communist circles, even before Trotsky got the tomahawk chop from hell several years later. Mike Gold had a bit of a history, having attacked Hemingway for his writings on the Spanish Civil War for not being fawning enough to communists, for which Hemingway penned his most pithy response to date by replying, "Tell Mike Gold Ernest Hemingway says go fuck yourself," unquote. Ah, a man after my own heart. But it wasn't enough for Albert Maltz to be publicly repudiated just among his peers. He had to be summarily chastised, and so the Communist Party shipped in what fellow party member and screenwriter Leopold Atlas called the intellectual goon squad. Now, some were familiar to him, such as the ideological leader V.J. Jerome, and yes, even Mike Gold, but new names, titans from all around the country who were quietly and not so quietly communists, also entered the fray. Union boss William Z. Foster, who also happened to be the General Secretary of the Communist Party USA, by the way. Author Howard Fast, who famously penned the think piece Why the Fifth Amendment to explain the utility of not incriminating yourself by citing the Constitution, sadly a screed that has been taken up by many a libertarian in the intervening years, despite being a thinly cloaked communist manifesto that uses the Red Scare as its narrative linchpin. Communist Party of Los Angeles community organizer
What do you say about us libertarians?
Titans from all around the country who were quietly and not so quietly communists also entered the fray. Union boss William Z. Foster, who also happened to be the General Secretary of the Communist Party USA, by the way. Author Howard Fast, who famously penned the think piece Why the Fifth Amendment to explain the utility of not incriminating yourself by citing the Constitution, sadly a screed that has been taken up by many a libertarian in the intervening years, despite being a thinly cloaked communist manifesto that uses the Red Scare as its narrative linchpin.
See, I don't know. He talks in circles, or talks over my head or something. There's something wrong with the way that man thinks and talks. Something really wrong. And the funny thing is you would hope that after he does a shit turd of a speech like this, he would go on to his stream, his long video game stream, and sort of slowly break it down for everybody, or something. No, he just sits there all quiet, and then says something once in a while. Something completely unrelated to all of the world. And then he just says something. You know, like, it's tough, it's rough, because, you know, I think I would like the guy, but he talks like a fucking fuck turd. He needs to learn how to communicate again. Maybe he's been trapped in that house by himself, him and his computer, for too long, and he's forgotten how people actually interact, or something.
Words Music. And you can go check that out. All I gotta say is keep an eye on it. If you want a band that's not full of a bunch of leftists and you like metal or hardcore music, keep your eyes open, your ears open, depending on how you want to look at it. Today's video, we got to talk about this again: defund the police. I did my video.
55 seconds of self-promotion and nothing.
Like 2 videos, actually, I believe. Defund the police is a fraud, but it's a confirmed fraud. Much like a lot of these catchphrases that catch on by way of leftists, it doesn't have really any substance to it, or more so, what they're saying isn't actually what they're trying to implement or what they are advocating. And that's exactly what's happening now. Like, exactly what's happening now. So we have these...
They didn't actually mean defund the police. So when the leftists said the thing, they didn't actually mean. It's kind of like gender doesn't exist. They say things that just make no fucking sense. They just, like, you know, Black Lives Matter. You know, like they say something that kind of sounds maybe okay, good, but they just have no fucking clue whether they're coming or going. They have just no idea about anything. They're just empty-headed loser, idiot retards.
I'd sort of so all right, let's just actually do this.
Is 1,000 good like a 10
This
a
guy
bet?
post, he says, what will replace the police? Social workers. If I heard that term again, social workers, crisis staff trained in de-escalation, which is literally just a police officer. Women's shelters. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that the ones that exist right now do a good job. I'm saying they are replacing the police with police by a different name. Planned Parenthood, Jesus Christ. Therapists, safe injection sites, rehab, community outreach, night classes, affordable health care. That's, I don't know if you call it Planned Parenthood. I don't know if you can't defend yourself and somebody breaks in your house. I don't know. But look, it's a fraud. I'm the, anarcho-capitalist here. I hear the term defund the police. I'm like, you threatening me with a good time. But of course, as to be expected, there was nothing that the concept wasn't actually a full defund. This is why you're saying some instances where they talk about disbanding it, like in Minneapolis, they're talking about replacing it with this transformative form of security, or public safety is what they say. That's just police. Police by a different name, dude. That's it. The woke police. Now, in this case, you're hearing people that was somebody else that I retweeted say the same thing. We're going to put it back into the community rather than into those who abuse the community. Let's fund healers and educators. Basically, they want to, and this says gun laws do not relate. I'm going to get into that here in a little bit. But basically, they just want to reroute the funds that they were supposedly given to the police, and they want to reroute it to these other people that are already existing now. They're just completely ineffective.
They don't, it's all dumb. We already know what black people could do to improve their situation. How about no violence, no theft, and no lies? That's it. 1, 2, 3, ABC. No violence, no theft, no lies. Same thing with everyone. It's not just them. Violence, theft, and lies. It's their problems. Libertarian, like he and I, both know what the solutions are. Yet, nobody's paying attention. Okay, I'm going to end this stream because this was more of a test stream because I'm sort of back on YouTube or whatever. I'm going to end it, and we'll talk to you later. Bye now.